Hi everyone, we are well and truly into winter riding now, and the trails are really...
Right, I'm ready.
What are you doing here?
I thought we were doing another video.
Yeah, a mountain bike video. You've shown everyone your road bike and you shine your helmet, then go away. Unbelievable. What was I saying? Yeah, so we are well and truly into winter riding now. The trails are really wet, they're really muddy, they're really sloppy, and I wanted to see how much of a difference a rear mudguard would make on the trail. So let's have a little look at the bike.
So this is my Trek Remedy 8. Now I've had this front mudguard fitted since I've had the bike, and it does a fairly good job of stopping the mud coming up and hit you in the face, but it's the rear I'm interested in. You don't see many people riding with rear mudguards out on the trail, and I fitted this mudguard just to stop the mud hitting the pivot bearings a little bit and try and protect the life of the pivot bearings, and it does an okay job of that. It's really a front mudguard that I've put on the back, but I've acquired this mudhugger rear mudguard which I'm going to fit there like that. I'm going to cable tie it on. I'm going to take it over Clent to see how much of a good job it does. Just a little disclaimer, I know you can get these bigger than this. I think this looks like it might be a bit too short for my bike. You can get them that stick out to about here, but that's about as big as I'm prepared to go, because I actually prefer the look of the bike without it. So I'm about to set off to go and meet Ben Lahr and my brother Mark over Clent, who I know has just bought one of these for his bike. So we're going to go see how much of a good job it does. So I'll see you on the trail. So here we are at the top of Clent, mudguard fitted. Mark's got his mudguard on.
No,
Ben
don't
Lahr.
got none.
So we're going to go and find some mud and do a backside test and see if they work. So as well as the mudguard, there's something else new on the bike today, and that's a rear camera, so we can have a look to see if the mudguard is working. So not too much mud on this trail so far. Let's just have a little look. Yep, the mudguard seems to be doing its job. Just a little bit of dirt flicked up onto the top of it. So this is a muddy bit now going across this fire road. Let's take a little look. Yes, so far so good. There's a few bits of dirt that are flicked up on top of it, but nothing too drastic.
Wet boots.
I was a bit apprehensive going down these trails today because there really wasn't a lot of grip, but Ben was absolutely flying and I just couldn't keep up with him.
You did it, nice one. Oh, that was cool.
So first trail done, and the mudguard seems to have done its job so far.
I told you the one about the Red Lion goes into a pub. Are you recording?
I am.
Brilliant. Red Lion goes into a pub, goes at the bar, and the manager says, "It's a sign. I shall name my pub after you." And this Red Lion says to him, "What, Trevor?"
Right, on that note.
Right, here we go. The trail we've renamed Slip and Slide. Oh, Jesus!
So this is a new trail we found over Clent, and it's called Doggers, but we've renamed it Slip and Slide in the winter. If there's a trail over Clent where you want to go and get muddy or test a mudguard, this is it. We're really not going fast down here. We're not going to get any Strava times. It's extremely muddy, extremely slippy. So let's take a little look to see if the mudguard's still working. and as you can see there's quite a lot of mud flicking up on top of it. I think this is because the mudguard's a bit too short for my bike.
Oh. Wow.
So on the climb back up we bumped into somebody who recognised the Hawaiian shirts and said, "You must be with Adventure Trails MTB." And we did ask if she wanted anything signing, but she said, "No, just get off my hill." So we obliged and we went down the nearest trail we could find. And this coming up right here is a good reminder of why not to use too much front brake in the mud, because I nearly went straight over the bars.
Yeah, no, nearly, very nearly. I nearly ended up wearing Mark. That was narrow. And now this is good.
So I'm really missing riding some dry trails at the moment. But halfway down this particular trail, it had a nice surprise for us. It was bone dry. It's as if it hadn't rained just in this one little spot over Clent. It's absolutely brilliant to ride.
Yeah. So we're back at 4 stones on the
That side of the man with no mudguard.
and then Mark turn around. That's quite a stark difference.
Is it chalk and cheese?
It is. It's quite a stark difference.
Yeah, we like it.
Whereas somehow I've managed up with quite a lot of mud on top of my mudguard. So
See the Adventure Trails MTB booty cam. Let's get the November calendar.
look at that for a sight. Look at that. There you go, Gaz. That's a new cover photo right there.
So as you can see, mud all over the back of Ben, as to be expected. Mud all over the back of me, which I wasn't expecting, but I think that's because my mudguard is just too short. Whereas Mark, who's got a bigger mudguard, the right size for his bike, there's hardly any mud on him. So I think if you get the right size mudguard, especially these mud huggers, they really do a good job. So this is Mark's first appearance on Adventure Trails MTB, and I think he must have wanted to leave a lasting impression because he decided to ride straight into a tree.
Mark's down.
Let's just take another look at that. Let's rewind. And yep, straight into a tree.
Mark's down.
Let's take one more look. Let's just rewind that. Let's do a super slow-mo. So there he is. Hits a rut. You'll see his right hand come off the handlebars and he just turns straight into a tree. Brilliant. Almost like I fitted a rear camera knowing that was going to happen. But luckily he was okay. He got straight back up and carried on down the trail. So nothing too major.
Right here.
Now I've got to admit the mudguard on my bike is starting to look a little bit worse for wear, but the mudguard on Mark's bike seems to be working just fine. So maybe there is something to be said for fitting a mudguard to your bike if you get the right size mudguard. So on the way home now after a good morning's ride, it's really interesting riding in the mud. You can't get the same level of speed up, but it really does test your levels of grip and your ability to deal with the bike sliding all about underneath you.
So we've just got back from Clent, and as you can tell, it was a bit of a muddy one. So let's see if this rear mudguard has done the trick. And somehow it's ended up with quite a lot of mud on top of the mudguard. I'm not quite sure how that happens.
Hopefully this rear camera has picked up some good footage for you. This is the bag I was wearing, and as you can see, it's still plastered, it's still covered, maybe not quite as dirty as it normally is. So I'm not quite sure if fitting this mudguard has done much to help or not. It might just be the positioning of it on the bike. Maybe drop us a comment below with your experience of mudguards. And as always, don't forget to subscribe.